Good morning, everyone. I got to do this quick today. I already have a little one helping me here. You guys want to see? There she is. Oh, wait. Gotta turn it around. Watering. Say good morning.
Good morning.
Look at our tomatoes. Aren't they just huge? They're all over in there. It's a beautiful tomato plant. Yeah. Hope you guys got to see that. Oh, alrighty, Abby. Abby, that's grossy. Thank you. Yeah, the patio does not need to be watered, sweetheart. Just the plants. Oh, look. This one just went.
I'm sorry for getting your carpet wet.
No, that's all right. Doesn't matter. That gets wet anyway when it rains. The dogs are at it already, having fun. So I'm here at my other daughter's, and oh dear me, I had a bit of a rough night with one of my legs, and I thought about it, and my body lets me know when I did a little too much. But I fell into bed just a happy camper, so a little pain goes with it, right? I used to, it doesn't matter. As long as it's at a certain threshold, I work through pain pretty good. And that's one of the, one could say, problems, where if I get going, I have a way of just disconnecting from the pain and just keep going. And I used to go all day long, all day long. There was so much to do, so many things that were my responsibility and I needed to do, and then there were so many things that I wanted to do on top of that. And sometimes I really miss those days. I feel so many people get older, so, well, yeah, I'm what, 60, I'm 80, but I feel like 20 on the inside. And yesterday was one of those days where I felt like I was going. I miss those days sometimes. And when a number of years ago now, I suddenly had this my physical problems started. It was a big change for me, a big change. So yesterday was one of those days I felt, I'm not sure that watering the tops of the plants is going to do anything, Abby, but I have a helper, so we're going to let her do how she wants it, right? Big change. But I have to say again, I'm kind of a little bit like a chameleon. Okay, there's those colors of going and doing and just all day long, falling into bed, sleeping like a rock, and then after a few hours and do it all over again for so many years. And suddenly, yeah. And, but I feel like a little bit like a chameleon. And I said, well, now I got to just switch gears. And I did. And, but I love it. I love all of it. And no doubt, if whatever happened so many years ago, I have no idea. It was one of those things where, what? Something just snapped in one of my legs, and now it can't be fixed. It just has to, I don't know, heal. I don't know if it ever will heal. I have no idea. And, but that had its blessings. I don't think I would be here if that did not happen. I know, there are some some of the pokeberries are getting ready. So we're going to pick those, put them in the freezer. Pokeberries are great for arthritis, and they can be picked. There's not that many, right? Okay, Abigail, you're going to hit Grozy, okay? So here, put it down. See here in the stump? These tomatoes are planted in a stump. See? You can't see that? Go over on that side. Sweetheart, look at me. Go over on this side, yeah, and then go inside the plant.
I'm not doing that.
You're not going to do that. Well, then. Okay, let's get going. I'll get sidetracked with watching her as well. We're in a new book, y'all. It's a gorgeous day here. Just again, we've got rain clouds, it looks like. She has got this, you guys, I'm telling you. Yeah. Which brings me to one more thing I'm going to mention before I start. So last night, when they heard that I was coming over here, my other two grandchildren said, well, we want to go. So my daughter here talked to my oldest granddaughter, who has the broken leg, says, now, we're going to give you the choice. Would you like to have your two cousins come over? Because when they're here, they're hanging on her. And, that'll be, you won't have your quiet time in your room or whatever. It's not going to happen. And my oldest granddaughter says, oh, yeah, I want them to come over. And so they came over, and we were sitting outside. Both of my daughters went shopping. They both needed to go and just couldn't find the time. And so I was here with all of my grandchildren, including the tiny one. And the two of one of my daughters were in the hammock. They have a hammock here, big hammock, and they were just roughhousing in that hammock and this and that. Oh, here comes my grandson now too. And I told him to stop. I said, that's not your hammock. It's to lay in and swing and have relaxing time, not what you guys are doing. And I did it again. So I made them help me take care of some cardboard and stuff. And, they didn't like that. Good morning. And I thought, when Mom gets back, they're going to want to go home. Nope. Nothing was said. Nothing. No. Which tells me that children appreciate discipline. It's not something where then they suddenly don't like you or whatever. And to not discipline children when they need it, I think children feel a little lost with that. Yes? So as parents, of course, you need to know, okay, when is it really needed? That shouldn't be so difficult to do. But children do need discipline, and they appreciate that. Yeah, it's an odd one, but they do. Last night, again, it showed me, yeah, it's true. And the way I disciplined them, let's see. So you're not listening when I'm telling you that you can't do certain things, or, you need to slow down, or you need to calm down. Oh, there's some work to be done, and I could use their help. Okay, come on, guys. Let's. What? But they always do. Yeah. They're wonderful children. I have wonderful grandchildren, and obviously, my children are great parents too. All right. Hey, she was doing that. Let her continue on. You've been out here for 60 seconds and you're already looking for conflict. Hey, listen. You see that cardboard laying out there, over there? Please continue putting that in the as much as you can. The big ones go behind or behind the garbage cans, okay? And the smaller pieces you put into the recycling bin. Thank you. You see, right there. He's already been bothering his sister, who's doing something. Abigail, you need to come back over here, walk all the way around, and get that hose dislodged from all the buckets. There you go, that's it. And then you'll have a much easier time. That is the strongest 5-year-old I've ever come in contact with. That girl has a physical strength already that's unbelievable. And there's a good reason for it. She just wants to do everything her brother does, and has developed muscles that are amazing. You know what? You don't have to do that if you don't want to, because Rosie's going to have to water some more, Abby. Just leave it. There you go. Thank you, honey. Okay. Let's see. She was even going to clean that up, but she didn't water everything. All right, let's get going in the book of Esther. Got to give that boy something to do, and he does a great job every time, and whatever. Amazing. Amazing kids. New book, the book of Esther. And here is the introduction to it. A delightfully vivid tale. Again, it's a tale of intrigue and harem politics. Everything seems to be about sex. Harem politics, we already know what that is. To illustrate the theme of God's protection of his people and the punishment of their opponents. Yeah. It shows both Jewish nationalism and the unpopularity of the Jews as an alien body among the nations. After all, okay, when was this written now? Not long before, okay, 160 before Christ, okay. But at that time, the Israelites were already where they were at for many generations. Right? What, they were still considered a foreign nation or whatever? They grew up there too. I mean, it's all right. So people move around in a region. That doesn't make them suddenly aliens of a place. Right? And that's just okay. I get it. Yeah, but what they were a bit different when it came down to it. Were they? I don't know. Well, let's keep on going. Here, I'm already going with. The massacres are obviously fictitious. Come again? The massacres are obviously fictitious. You guys all know what that is, what fictitious means, right? To illustrate the biblical theme of reversal of fortunes. The only character known to history is Ahasuerus, the more familiar form of whose name is Xerxes. The book is read at the Feast of Purim, but the connection with that feast is perhaps secondary. It was written not long before 160 before Christ. The passages printed in italics are contained in the GK text, but are not in the Hebrew. Hebrew? Okay, whatever. Esther. Okay, so again, this is just a tale. It's just a story. I'm telling you all again. Oh, it's not a children's fairy tale. It's an adult fairy tale. All right, but again, what I've said about the Bible before, it's a textbook. It's fables, and if anybody knows what fables often are lessons of what? Behavior, conscience, right and wrong. Yes, all right. Proper behavior, proper this, proper that. Esther, preliminaries. Mordecai's dream. 1. Is this one now? No. This is all beginning stuff. How's it going over there?
Good.
Oh, you did it all. High five. Good job. Thank you. In the second year of the... Okay, this is not 1. This is preliminary 1. In the second year of the reign of the great king Ahasuerus, on the first day of Nisan, a dream came to Mordecai, son of Jair, son of Shimei, son of Kish, of the tribe of Benjamin, a Jew. Okay, that's a J. It says a little bit different writing here. Mordecai's dream. So King Ahasuerus is also Xerxes. Why 2 different names here suddenly? Is it really the same person? I have no idea. Yeah, makes you wonder. A Jew living at Susa and holding high office at the royal court. He was one of the captives from Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, had deported from Jerusalem with Jeconiah, king of Judah. This was his dream. There were cries and noise, thunder and earthquakes and disorder over the whole earth. Then 2 great dragons came forward, each ready for the fray, and set up a great roar. At the sound of them every nation made ready to wage war against the nation of the just. A day of darkness and gloom, of affliction and distress, oppression and great disturbance on earth. The entire upright nation was thrown into consternation at the fear of the evils awaiting it, and prepared for death, crying out to God. Then from its cries, as from a little spring, there grew a great river, a flood of water. Light came as the sun rose, and the humble were raised up and devoured the mighty. On awakening from his dream and vision of God's designs, Mordecai thought deeply about the matter, trying his best all day to discover what its meaning might be. Now, this is 160 years before Jesus. And I thought that after Judith, which, okay, we're not quite sure when that happened, but, well, then why is the book of Judith ahead? And then here is Esther, so what? Is it just all a big jumble wumble? Oh, let's just put that one here. Let's the women together and the guys together. And okay. But I thought that after Judith and that story, there was a long period of peace. Nobody messed with the Israelites. Now, that wasn't true. Okay. And a dream. Okay. All right. Let's just keep reading. Dear me. A plot against the king. Mordecai was lodging at court with Bigtan and Teresh, 2 of the king's eunuchs. Oh, eunuchs. That's the first time I'm hearing about eunuchs. That's such a horrible thing to do to a man. Guarded the palace, having got wind of their plotting and gained knowledge of their designs. He discovered that they were preparing to assassinate King Ahasuerus, and he warned the king against them. Okay, to go back one more time to the eunuchs, right? Where were eunuchs often? There was only one place where eunuchs were, and castrated for that in a way. Yes, where? Around other women. Was it the women who castrated these other men and to serve then in certain places where there were women in the palace or whatever? Huh? No, it was the men. Men not trusting men. And, oh, wow, okay. Well, that's something to talk about right there. Don't you think? In an area where, yeah, we have obvious problems in the realm of love. Yes? Yeah. Well, there you go. Tells us something about the people of that time as well. Put that down. You're done. Thank you. It's okay, Abby. Just go get dressed. You guys should... Are you already dressed, Ben? Yeah. Okay. You're not touching that again. You're done. Do you want some more work? Do you need more work? Are you sure? Maybe you should go make breakfast. He made breakfast yesterday. He did great. He made pancakes. He had his apron and his chef hat on, and he made pancakes, and he did a great job. Within no time, he knew how to flip those pancakes like a pro.
Jenny hated this shirt so bad. She wanted it out of her room, so I had to go out there.
No way, because it's the Bengals.
She hates the Bengals. So
she hates
made
them.
Me get the bag out.
We need to talk to her about hating another team. How does that?
Hate
make
is
sense?
a strong word.
Yeah, hate is a strong word.
They're trying their best to get.
Not a fan of the Bengals, so we need to teach her it's okay to be loyal to her team, but that doesn't mean that you make an enemy out of the other team, right? Oh, well, there you go. Okay, let's keep going. He warned the king against them. The king gave orders for the 2 officers to be tortured. They confessed and were executed. What? He, we got half of the story here. He then had these events entered in his record book, while Mordecai himself also wrote an account of them. Oh, well, so here are some accounts of something. Ooh, sweat bead. No, 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 no. The king then appointed Mordecai to an office at court and rewarded him with presents. But Haman, son of Hammedatha, the Agagite, who enjoyed Agagite? Never heard of an Agagite before. Who enjoyed high favor with the king, determined to injure Mordecai in revenge for the affair of the king's 2 officers. What? Oh, my goodness. So here's Mordecai warning the king, hey. And here's another guy also in high regards of the king who was a part of the plot.
An acorn.
Oh, you did. You know, that makes good, one can make good little men out of, that's like a head with a hat on it. Little toys. All right, now we are in now we're starting here. Ahasuerus and Vashti. Ahasuerus' banquet 1. Book of Esther 1. It was in the days of Ahasuerus, the Ahasuerus whose empire stretched from India to Ethiopia and comprised 127 provinces. In those days, when King Ahasuerus was sitting on his royal throne in the citadel of Susa in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet at his court for all his officers of state and ministers, Persian and Median army commanders, nobles, and provincial governors. Thus he displayed the riches and splendor of his empire and the pomp and glory of his majesty. The festivities went on for a long time, 180 days. Man, they sure liked to party. When this period was over, for 7 days, the king gave a banquet for all the people living in the citadel of Susa, to high and low alike, on the esplanade in the gardens of the royal palace. There were white and violet hangings fastened with cords of fine linen and purple thread to silver rings on marble columns, couches of gold and silver on a pavement of porphyry, marble, mother of pearl, and precious stones. For drinking there were golden cups of various design, and plenty of wine provided by the king with royal liberality. The royal edict did not, however, make drinking obligatory, the king having instructed the officials of his household to treat each guest according to the guest's own wishes. There wasn't an edict that you had to drink. That's funny. You could, but you didn't have to. What a way around. All right.
Gotta go get ham.
Just playing. Poor Hank only has 3 legs. That's good. It's good though. It's good. It's nice and cool. Ham, are you playing? Oh yeah, look at you, a happy dog. Oh, wants to play with you. Be careful. If he gets so into it, he'll start bleeding down his gums. Yeah, those 2. What came to my mind here? Persian, yeah. So Ahasuerus is a Persian king. Disgrace of Queen Vashti. Queen Vashti, for her part, gave a banquet for the women in the royal palace of King Ahasuerus. On the 7th day, when the king was merry with wine, he commanded Mehuman, Bitza, Harbona, Bigtha, Abagata, Setar, and Carcas, the 7 officers in attendance on the person of King Ahasuerus, to bring Queen Vashti before the king, crowned with a royal diadem, in order to display her beauty to the people and the officers of state, since she was very beautiful. I had to mention that he was drunk doing that. So, But Queen Vashti refused to come at the king's command delivered by the officers. The king was very angry at this, and his rage grew hot. Addressing himself to the wise men who were versed in the law, it being the practice to refer matters affecting the king to expert lawyers and jurists, he summoned Karshina, Shetar, Admata, Tarshish, Meres, Marsena, and Mekukan, and 7 Persian and Median officers of state who had privileged access to the royal presence and occupied the leading positions in the kingdom. Access to the royal presence. Great way of wording that. According to law, he said, what is to be done to Queen Vashti for not obeying the command of King Ahasuerus delivered by the officers in the presence of the king? Disgrace of Queen Vashti, because what? She didn't want to be displayed in front of a bunch of drunk people. Gosh. In the presence of the king and the officers of state, Memucan replied, Queen Vashti has wronged not only the king, but also all the officers of state and all the people inhabiting the provinces of King Ahasuerus. What? The queen's conduct will soon become known to all the women, who will adopt a contemptuous attitude towards their own husbands. I'm sorry, you guys. This is just too funny. They will say, King Ahasuerus himself commanded Queen Vashti to appear before him, and she did not come. Before the day is out, the wives of the Persian and Median officers of state will be telling every one of the king's officers of state what they have heard about the queen's behavior, and that will mean contempt and anger all around. If it is the king's pleasure, let him issue a royal edict to be irrevocably incorporated into the laws of the Persians and Medes, to the effect that Vashti is never to appear again before King Ahasuerus, and let the king confer her royal dignity on a worthier woman. Oh my gosh. One has to ask, and I know this is a bit crude what I'm going to say here now, but so this King Ahasuerus, though, Xerxes and Ahasuerus, okay, we didn't hear a whole lot about Xerxes. Which brain was he thinking with, right? Yes, I'm just saying. Let this edict issued by the king be proclaimed throughout his empire, which is great, and all the women will henceforth bow to the authority of their husbands, both high and low alike. This speech pleased the king and the officers of state. Oh my God. And the king did as Memucan advised. He sent letters to all the provinces of the kingdom, to each province in its own script, and to each nation in its own language, ensuring that every husband should be master in his own house. Okay. Does this have anything to do with being the master in your own house as a man? Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. This is like... People may disagree with me, but in the whole, I've already said many times where I feel that I am as a woman, what my position, what I learned, what I feel. The ideal is that God has designed us as men and women, and what our position is. I know quite well what my position as a woman is in society, yes, as a wife, as a mother, yeah, okay. I know that full well. I don't need anyone to tell me that. And I absolutely, if the husband is fulfilling his responsibilities as a husband and a father, then women don't have no reason to go against them or whatever. Right? Just saying. This beginning, then the first little chapter here in the book of Esther, and how this king and then these officers who were all men, and how they dealt with that, where Queen was just, I'm not going to come before you, you're drunk, and everybody else is drunk. I'm not a piece of whatever to just show off. That's not how you treat a woman. That's not how you treat a wife. And that's not how you treat a mother. And would everybody agree here? So she says, no, I'm not going to do that. That's a strong woman, considering, well, yeah, what then happened to her, obviously. was going to happen to her. And then the message that the men over that want to give out to all the women there, all the wives, all the mothers. This is worse behavior than my grandson right now could ever. Okay, he's not there yet. That's a grown man, but still, this is ridiculous. This is kids, and these kids, these young, all right, spiritually, they're kids. They're little boys. They haven't grown at all. They physically look like men, but their behavior and how they're fixing this, or how they reacting to Queen Vashti's. I'm not going to do that. That's not right. This is wrong. And what? The king, after, okay, now he wakes up in the morning. What did I do? That was wrong. I should never have done that. She's right. But because he's the king is what? All-knowing. The king is, I can't do wrong. The son of heaven, blah, blah, blah. Can't admit he did a boo-boo there? No. He goes further. Now, we gotta have some laws here. That's absolute childish behavior. I think it's worse than childish behavior, because these were adults. Yeah? No? Mm-hmm. Right?
Right.
Just say yes, Grady. That's terrible. That's king of a nation. Those are. Yeah, it's not just. Don't slam it again. We have to have Uncle Kyle fix that. Those are leaders supporting the king. These are leaders of a big nation, of a big empire. Yes, I know. I'm gonna have Uncle Kyle fix it, so don't slam it again. Anyway,
Hey guys.
this is a bit illuminating, isn't it? Anyway, so there it is. Mordecai's dream. I don't know where to put that yet. If I just take this one little part that I read, I could. Is it what? The two dragons are what? Man and woman? No. No, that's not here. That's a, hey, he doesn't even know what that is. That's a DVD player. Yeah, I don't know. Is she still asleep?
Why don't you want to play house?
Guys already
Why
bored?
don't you want
Just
to
by
play
yourself?
soldiers?
You're already bored? Without your other cousin? Huh? Well, Rosie's almost done here. Then we'll fix breakfast. We'll do some other things. Huh? Yes? We got stuff to do today. Alright, I better finish up. I got little ones. Pancakes again? I don't know. Let's go see. Maybe Auntie Emily has already plans for breakfast.
You gotta write down the recipe for me.
That's right. Oh, you didn't get to make the pancakes now for Daddy this morning. Maybe tomorrow morning. I'll write down the recipe for you, and then you can make them tomorrow morning. All right. May Heavenly Parent bless and protect you. Embrace you with love. My door's not quite working, and they're trying. Both of them.
It works.
And I will talk to you all tomorrow.